definitely.
Powerful 5-hour energy for Marconin tonight. Wake up, Marconin!
The power of B vitamins compels you. The power of B vitamins compels you.
You will wake up now, mister. You will wake up now.
You will wake up. I don't care.
We need wake up songs for you. We need like
Just thrash metal and
thrash.
or like orchestral thrash metal.
So
Get some
you can.
stuff like that.
Oh,
on
there's
there.
two of me, right? Okay, that's what happened because things got mixed up. I gotta fix that. It was fixed before. I don't know what happened there. Hang on. Let me fix that.
There we go. I had to mute the channel a second time.
It looked fine before. I don't know what happened there. That's really weird. That's not what I want either.
That's not normal.
Let me move that over.
Move over.
That's a weirdo. Yeah, that's my second camera so Marconin can see me. That's the one that we want to be able to see there. It's how it works. This is how the sausage gets made. You know, when things go wrong, I gotta go fix it.
You see, you saw our sausage being made.
Ew, that's gross.
You saw the sausage being
You
made.
know you don't want to see my sausages. You don't want to see my sausages. That's not okay.
Already we've got a show title. You don't want to see our sausages.
No. There's no. Now look, there's Marconin. You see Marconin? He's right there.
Hey,
I fixed it.
I am still here.
I don't know why. It went whoop, and then it just switched the window, so I had to fix it.
Sorry,
You just got a
midnight.
whole lot of nope from the chat room
Yeah.
on that one. So hello, chat room, you lovely, lovely people. How
Good
are
morning,
you?
folks. Well, good morning for me.
It is. Marconin goes, I'm having my breakfast. And he shows me this big slice of pizza.
It's what was for dinner, so it's my breakfast. You kind of give up the whole regular food for breakfast routine and regular food for dinner routine usually
I know,
when you do that.
Are you gonna eat? Like, do you have a bowl of cereal when you get home then? Is that how it works?
Sometimes, or like at the hotel I'm going to be at for the next 2 weeks, they give you free breakfast and free dinner.
Yeah.
So it'll be whatever for dinner, and then I guess like scrambled eggs and bacon for dinner in the morning, which is not really bad. I mean, they've usually got some pretty good food. It's actually a pretty nice hotel, so I'm very happy about that.
That's nice. At least you're
It's not like a Motel 6 or something like that where it's like, yeah, we maybe have a bagel for you, and that's it. Maybe.
This is your breakfast. You get a piece of toast. That's
Yep.
it. That's fun. I don't envy you in the bunch of hotels that you're gonna stay in for the next however many weeks.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks down here, and then I think 2 weeks back home, and then 2 weeks up in northwestern Arkansas.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
So you're right now. You're in Louisiana today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Excuse me. Still waking up. Still
I know the
getting all
pizza needs to kick in. It's like
Oh, get down, pizza. Get down and digest.
where's the stamper?
Need one of them to stamp the breakfast down.
Yes, stamp the breakfast straight down into your. Oh no,
And just watch out for the flaming Pop-Tarts.
Things just got real there. I forgot to fill out what I did this week.
Oh, yeah, I got to remember what I did this week. I don't think... Well, I raided. Did a little bit of raiding.
You did a little bit of rating. So did we. We did a little bit of rating. And let's see. There we go. There we go. Yes, Marconin is definitely in need of some caffeine. He just, he's going to need to get your energy. You're going to have to push him here energy so he's all awake for the show.
Yeah, no, I got to...
Everybody,
Gonna stretch and wake up.
Do you like? Okay, so I was always taught this especially in improv class, like to get your brain going, you have to like put your hands up in the air and push up really fast. So like, ooh, like pushing your arms up like this. I'm serious. If you do that, it will wake you up. And you gotta do it for 30 seconds.
Fast. Oh, I don't know if I could do it for 30 seconds.
I know, but it'll wake you up. I'm gonna flip them.
It's like bicycling with my hands.
I flip my hands around. Oh, that's great.
Excuse me.
Move your hands in the air like you just don't care. Right?
Oh yeah. There we go. Ooh.
I think I almost heard the pops as you went through.
Yeah, there were a couple in there. Let's see here.
I see you typing. I see you doing the typing stuff. There's typing going on in there. Kermit flails. Kermit flails are good too. Like when you're just gonna be like, flipping your whole body around. So.
Yeah, I'm not that excited just yet.
Oh, come on.
There will be a Kermit flail eventually, but
we'll have to get you. We'll have to get you going. Get you going.
Yeah, once the gears start turning at regular speed, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I was surprised I slept the entire 4 hours. Whew. Yeah, I went to bed about 4 o'clock and then got up at 8. So it's
so you got 4 hours of sleep, so then you're gonna stay up all night.
Mm-hmm.
And then
and drive over to Shreveport and then go to bed, maybe about 11 or noon.
Yeah.
Sometime around there.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting over there and getting adjusted to it.
Yep.
Because I had to get up early. Mm-hmm.
Day in the life of a night shifter. I don't know how you do it. I still don't. I don't think I ever know. 4 hours here, 14 hours on a lucky day.
Yeah, that was a very nice 14 hours of sleep. Oh, that was good. Really like that.
My body really liked that one.
I woke up and it was like, hey, remember that thing you like to do usually once a day? Sleep? Well, thank you for that gigantic long amount of sleep. And I was like, no, thank you, body. I needed that.
Thank you.
And then he was like, no, thank you for laying down and actually stopping for a while. Please. And I was like, well, I had to, so thank you for giving me the opportunity to. He's like, no, thank you. And then it was confusing because I was talking to myself.
Yeah, and then it was like hearing yourself answer yourself, and that's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sound check you right here and make sure you can hear this.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network.
Yes?
Yep, I got that.
Good deal. Good dealio. We've got a soundboard. We've got lovely things going on. Yes. Yes. All right. I have everything.
Hydrated.
Hydrated.
Hydrating.
Yeah. I'll drink another thing of water just to be sure. Just to be certain. Mm-hmm. Just to be sure.
I'm going to make sure I got a rundown on the show.
The letters are long this week, so
they are.
I'm like, all right, in for a ride. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go for a ride.
It's clearing the mental cobwebs up.
Yep. Shake the head out. Shake it out. Shake it out.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
I wish I could play music. If I do, it'll totally echo because I have the other Skype going. But if I could play music, I'd be playing some Cars for you.
I would be okay with that.
Shake it up. Yes.
You might think I'm foolish. All I want is you.
Yes.
That music video creeped me out when I was little.
Oh gosh, I know.
Where the lead singer was on the fly and he's like buzzing around the girl's face.
That was creepy. That was really a creepy video, actually. So think about it. That and the Sledgehammer video. That was a really creepy video.
I love that video as a kid, though. All the animation and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and plus such a good sounding song too.
Oh, I know. It was such a creepy, like, whoever had that in their mind to create that, was very like, it was just to the point where you're like, you're just on the line of really odd.
Yeah, I think he may have had some chemical assistance in coming up with that video.
Yeah. No, we're talking about the
Especially-
sledgehammer video. I wanna be
Dun,
sledgehammer.
do, do.
Why don't you call my name?
Yeah. I want to be your bumper car. And the little claymation thing's bumping.
Yes! The chicken, the dancing chicken.
Yeah,
always
where it starts
messed
at
me
a
up.
yeah, it starts as an egg and then a hammer hits it and then turns to the chicken.
And then it
Then
swirls into
spins
two
into
chickens.
two. Yeah.
It's weird. It's so I saw
It
that
is.
so many times, that video. It's just kind of creepy.
It's still one of my favorite music videos.
I know.
Just because it's like all of his are all over the place.
Oh, I know. Peter Gabriel
Dig-
had it all going on, but
Yeah.
the
Digging in the dirt, Steam.
oh gosh,
Big.
yes.
Man.
I think one of my like I was really into Phil Collins and Genesis when I was in school, and so the Land of Confusion video was one that just messed with me, and I loved it. And
That
I
one
loved
that
it.
one gave me nightmares.
Yeah, because of the really creepy masks and puppets and all that
They were
kind of
like-
thing. It was like, oh, it's so weird.
Yeah. It was like a caricature. Those caricature drawings brought to life in the
Yeah.
puppets. And it
Yeah.
was just weird.
Political cartoons. It was like
Political cartoons, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was great. Oh, Axel's kind of bouncing around behind you.
Yeah, he
Chat room can see him.
Yeah. He's having a good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was having a good time with my parents here earlier.
Oh, I'm sure. Lots of attention.
Yeah.
Lots
Like
of attention.
he was all over the place. All over the place. Running, jumping.
There's people. There's
everywhere.
There's people. Yes.
New folks.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Now that we've talked about 80s videos and tried to clear some cobwebs from your brain, I think it is
Yeah.
time for us to do a podcast. What do you guys think? What do you guys think, chat room? Do you think we should do a
Should
show
we?
tonight?
Should we do a show or should we just kind of, I don't know, just hang out and
Breeze.
talk about 80s videos?
Talk about, stuff from our childhood that creeped us out.
Yeah. Hey there, this is 80s Video Flashback with Jules and Marconin.
Hey.
Today we're taking a look at the greatest and craziest videos from the decade that brought you such hits as Devo's Whip It, She Blinded Me with Science, and Land of Confusion. Oh, it's a creepy Ronald Reagan you got right there. Ronald Reagan in the Superman suit. That was another
gosh,
thing.
I know.
It was so weird.
Oh, there's too much. There was too much in that video that was really creepy. Ugh. Now I gotta go
Welcome
watch it
to
after the show's
Cafe
over.
Yeah.
I gotta
the
go
next
watch it
headroom.
now.
Welcome to the Cafe 80s, where it's always morning in America, even in the afternoon. From Back to the Future 2.
Wow. Wow. God,
Love
it's been
that.
a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
All
well,
right. All right.
You'll have to watch it in October.
Yes. Yes. Pretty awesome.
I
2015.
want to know where my flying cars are.
October. Was it October
It's
21st?
21st. I think it's October something.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's BlizzCon badge? That's Noxie's. This one is my
Yep.
Noxie badge from last year. It's hard to see it if you guys can see it. I'm trying to get it to the camera. So I have my Cinder Kitten, and then I have one behind it that was made. This was made by Ursangus, and this was signed by my entire greeter team. So I have these two. And I am on Fabelina's list this year. So I will have a badge from Fabelina. This thing is going to get really heavy when I take it to BlizzCon.
Yeah, I need to fish out the one that Vidyala did for me 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The little watercolor one. That was one of my first year. I have that one, and then I have Noxie's behind me in my studio. It's back there, and so I'll have that, and then a Fabelina this year too.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be awesome. All right, we're going to get the show started. And we are going to go in... You ready?
About to go live.
Okay, I'm going to leave.
Okay, she's gonna step
All
out.
right, so go do our thing, and then we'll count it down and go for it. Mrs. Conan's going to a movie.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see.
All right,
Alrighty.
ready to roll in 3, 2, 1.
Today's show has been brought to you by Doghouse Systems, makers of the best gaming PCs on the planet. Have you been dreaming of getting a doghouse but found the price point a little too high? Well, check out the Armor VS. It's been updated with an all-new chassis, with a new lower price, and can be configured with either an i3, i5, or i7 processor. Can I start that over?
Yes, you can read
Please,
it again.
we can do that again.
Yeah, I'll cut it.
Brain is still waking up, ladies and gentlemen. You are seeing the live mess ups. Try this again. Today's show has been brought to you by Doghouse Systems, makers of the best gaming PCs on the planet. Have you been dreaming of getting a doghouse but found the price point a little too high? The Armor VS has been updated. It's got a brand new chassis, a new lower price, and can be configured with either an i3, i5, or i7 Intel processor. Go check out the new Armor VS at doghousesystems.com and enter the code TTT at checkout for double the memory. You'll be glad that you did.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
Welcome to episode 143 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Saturday, April 25th of 2015. It is around 9:08 p.m. Central Time Zone, and we are here again on a Saturday night for your entertainment, because we love it. My name is Jules, and I am here with my awesomely little bit sleepy co-host named Marconin. Hi, Marconin.
Good morning, Jules. Good morning, chat room. Good morning, listeners.
At 9:08 p.m., it is good morning for Marconin.
It is good morning. Only been up about an hour, so it's still my morning. Still waking up, still getting the cobwebs out of the brain and getting ready to do this show. So
I give you a ton of credit, I tell you, because I swear, if I did this show when I wake up for work on a Monday morning, say, and it was, 8 o'clock in the morning for me and sitting down to go do a show, I'd be just like, just my brain would just slow down. My coffee has to kick in, or my brain just walks through life very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
I give you a lot of that credit.
Well, thank you. It's you get used to it, being ready to get just as soon as you wake up, it's go time. So you get used to it after a while. So
yeah.
it actually works.
Yeah, well, you technically got a 4-hour nap today.
Yeah, I slept about 5 hours early this morning and then got up about 11 o'clock in the morning because my parents were in town.
Oh, nice.
to see my wife's gallery opening that she had. It's only open for about a week and a half, so this was the only weekend that we could do it. Mm-hmm. And they came down, and so I took a little nap during the morning, got up, and we went to the gallery, had lunch, and hung out for a little while. And then when they left, I laid back down and just to get a few more hours in before the show.
Good for you.
Because then I would actually be ready and raring to go.
And tonight you are in Louisiana, broadcasting live from your wife's house in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I'll be working actually in Louisiana in a nearby city for 2 weeks. So it'll work. It works that I'm nearby.
Nice.
So I don't have to drive 4 hours for work tomorrow. I only have to drive 1, so that helps a whole lot.
Awesome. Means more rest for you.
Yes, it does. More rest and more time to play video games.
Well, speaking of video games, what have you been doing in said video game that this show is about?
Oh, would that be the World of Warcraft there?
Now, that old World of Warcraft that we talk about occasionally.
We're on that there, World of Warcraft. I did some raiding with Savage Cherry Tomatoes again this week, which is one of Ashanka's raid teams. One of Ashanka's 3-4 raid teams. He's got a few of them.
He's insane.
So yeah, he really is. And we did some good. We got a lot of bosses down. I can't remember exactly how many, but I know we got. I think we stopped at Cro-Mag. Mm-hmm. I think. It was a good night. I got the tier chest piece for normal, so I've got that. I don't. I have a gem socket in the chest that I've got. Yeah. So right now the one I'm wearing is better. But once I get the 2-piece bonus, then I can start rocking it. So I'm very happy to get the tier piece. So that was finally get a tier token.
That's
my
awesome.
first one.
Very cool. So you raided, was that Thursday night you raided?
Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they raid from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. my time, which works for me because it's in the middle of the day. That's around my lunch hour usually, so it's perfect.
You're like, I'm wide awake. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was really good and a lot of fun, and I like raiding with those guys too, especially when I can. It's not very, it's later on. I won't be able to because I'll be working on Thursday nights. But just for that 1 week, it was good to get to raid.
That is
fun.
awesome. Did you get any new mounts this week?
I did.
What'd you get?
I broke the bank again and emptied my coffers, and I bought the Fell Drake, which is one of the trading card game mounts. It's a Drake, but it's got these kind of warlock. It's got like a warlock kind of theme to it. It's all dark and it's got the fell green and orange on its wings, and it's got like a little like demonic symbol that floats above its head. And what's cool is that I was looking for a mount anyway. I was going to buy one, and then I saw in trade chat somebody was offering like the red rocket, the X51 rocket, and the Fell Drake and it was like for 50K underneath the auction house. And then I looked at the name and I was like, I know that name. That name is a person that used to be on Convert to Raid. That name was Solar. And I looked at the armory I was like, that is Solar Flare. Oh heck. So I message him and he was like, oh hey, yeah. And so I meet him in Stormwind, and I give him the money, and he gives me the mount. And so I have a mount from somebody that works at Blizzard that sold it to me, who used to be on Convert to Raid. So that was really cool. If I see him at BlizzCon, I'll thank him for the Fell Drake again.
Oh, he'll be there.
Yeah, so it'll be cool, and I'm happy now because now I have a story with that mount. That's always good, is when you get a mount or you get something cool in the game and you have a story attached to it.
Yeah.
So I like that a whole lot.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on your new addition to the mount family.
Thank you very much. The stables are getting fairly packed, let me tell you.
I know, the smell must be pretty nasty.
Yeah, well, the Mechanostriders don't really poo at all, but the Time Lost Prototrake, man,
poo.
like there's no tomorrow. Ugh. Woo! I gotta hire some more followers. I need to get a bigger inn and hire more followers. I need more than 25.
They have to give you like a 30 follower limit instead of the 25.
I know. I need a 5-man team to tank the poo and get it all out of here.
Oh gosh,
just get it out of here. Just get it, just put it all in a tank and take it away, and make it fertilizer for like everybody else's like herb garden or something. Everybody get more herbs that way.
Mark Honan is like he's keeping an economy going with the mounts that he's collecting. It's just the fertilizer industry that you're going to start on the side is going to be perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've been doing really in game this week. It's been a pretty full week with work, and so just that little bit of raiding and one new mount to the collection was for me. What about you? How'd you guys do with Cat on Fire this week?
Wah, wah.
Oh no.
I shouldn't say that. I don't know what it was. I mean, I know what it was for me. I was getting a migraine. And so I was not feeling well just going into the night. And by the time we got to like the 10-15 mark, I was like, I'm done. My brain is done. We decided that we were going to try to work into heroics this time. And so we went into Gruul first with the heroic, and it just did not go well. And we spent like an hour working on him for heroic, and it was just like it wasn't going well. And so we decided to go back to normals. And I said, okay, because what's happening with us is that we're hitting a certain point where we can get the normals down to a certain point in the progression of 7 of 10. We haven't done the last 3. And so we're going to have to change our focus again. Instead of going to heroics and trying to farm up that gear, I think it's better for us to continue farming up for the tier pieces for those who haven't gotten them, and then push through the normals to the ones we haven't done. So we're going to change our tactic again. I thought, because we did this with Highmall, where we were like, oh, we can go back and start heroics, and then whenever we need to switch, we'll just switch, right? From heroic to normal. that formula didn't fly this time. It wasn't right for us yet. Our gear is fine. It's just that these fights are a lot less forgiving. And if you make a mistake or a misstep or you step the wrong place, it's going to wipe you. It's going to kill you, which means we can't kill the boss. And so we just there's a lot more personal responsibility with this raid than there was for Heimel. So I'm as a raid leader, I'm sitting there going, okay, well, we can't just continue to do what we've done in the past and expect it to work. So
yeah, and that gruel fight is pretty hard, because at the end of the night with Savage Cherry Tomatoes, we did that. We went and did heroic gruel, and it's unforgiving.
Yeah.
Like if you stay, there one guy died because he was just on the edge of the overhead smash.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, well, I was off the line. I was just over it. I was like, well, thinking, well, you got to make sure you're completely clear. This is heroic. This is not, LFR. You just can make sure you're completely out of the bad.
Yeah.
No questions. No, nothing left to question about it. No room for error there. So it's you're right. Gruel is pretty unforgiving.
Mm-hmm. And it's the first boss
rough.
of you can pick him, or you can go to a different boss, but he is supposed to be the easier of the ones to go on to heroic, and so it was a mindset check, and so it was fine. Well, what we're gonna do then is, because while I hear from Arcane every time about how no tier pieces drop for his grouping, that we have to keep grinding through so people can get some tier pieces that they need.
Yeah.
Because those tier bonuses are important. So
they are pretty good. I mean, they're pretty good. I think they're pretty good for this raid. I'm okay with the mage ones.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. So I've heard nothing but positive things, unless somebody's class is like, this is bunk. But I don't think that that's the case for most people. They're pretty excited by the tier bonuses. So in any case, that's where Cat on Fire went this week. We're going to just go back in, and we're going to hit normals, and we're going to push through to the bosses we haven't killed yet on normal, and start farming up those tier pieces and go from there. So
good.
And on the other side of the faction, I've been playing my Blood Elf Monk, and I got her up to 92 today.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm seeing the Horde content for the first time for Draenor, which is really kind of cool. I haven't seen this stuff yet. And Frostfire Ridge, the quest lines are pretty cool, so I'm enjoying.
That's what I've heard.
So yeah, I'm going through that, doing that, just enjoying my time when I can. It's been so hectic for me, because you'd think when I lose 10 hours a week at my job that I would have a little extra free time. And the answer to that is like a big resounding no. I just had everything just decided it wanted to fill up that time. So, and I really reached the point, like even yesterday, I was just like, I am done. I am tired. I just need to take a break. So I finally got a chance to play for today a little bit. It was awesome.
Good.
I haven't been able to play much outside of raiding. So it's, so that's that. But and also we're kind of preparing, and my time has been taken up because we're preparing for the Minnesota meetup, which is coming up next Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's next week, which means that there is no show this next week, because I will be hanging out at the Podcast Power Station Annex in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The studio will be right there, but I don't think I'm going to be anybody who's going to be willing or able to do a show at that point.
Yeah.
There's way too much booze in Pat Crane's house. So.
Yeah. Well, you got to fix that problem. That's why you won't be able to do it, because you're trying to fix that problem.
I'm trying to fix that problem. Get rid of all that booze, right?
Everything out. Got to move it out.
Yeah.
Move it out, folks.
Yeah. So we're super excited for this. The Minneapolis meetup, the Minnesota meetup, is Saturday, May 2nd. It's coming up a week from today. It's 2 to 6 p.m. at the Herkimer Pub and Brewery in Minneapolis. And we are also hanging around at the Minneapolis Comic-Con beforehand. So if you are thinking about going, or you really want to check it out, make some last-minute plans, whatever you'd like, signalsmedia.com/meetup is the place to go. Check it out. We're super excited. It looks like there's going to be at least 40 people who are coming, and if not more, who haven't signed up yet.
You can do Molten Core.
Yes, and it in a run of 40-man Molten Core. You know what I'm going to be doing, though? I'm going to be tanking a bacon whiskey drink. That's what I'm going to be doing.
There you go.
It's going to be the best. I'm so excited. So, So yeah, check us out for the Minnesota meetup if you want to come. Check us out. It's next Saturday. I also wanted to give a special call out to one of our friends who's been on the show a couple of times, Anthony Bean. Anthony is doing an online course, which actually anybody can sign up for this summer. It's being done from Framingham State University, or is it Framingham? I can't remember if the pronunciation is A or Ah. I'm going to say Framingham State University. And this course, you get to play video games as part of this course. Like, it's a requirement as part of it. So if you are interested in checking it out, you can go to tiny.cc/gamesclass. That's tiny.cc/gamesclass. That's the description of Anthony Bean's course. And if you have an extra couple $100 sitting around, you want to take an online course with one of our guest hosts, you can do so.
Get some college credit under your belt.
It's college credit, man. It's pretty cool. So yeah, check that out. tiny.cc/gamesclass. So there we go. All right. I did all of my plugging, all of my talking. Are you ready, Marconin? Oh,
yeah, let's dig in.
Do you have anything else to talk about before we go into the discussion? No.
Not that I can think of. Am I forgetting anything?
No. I'm just like rolling forward, and I said, I should ask before I just plow right into the next thing.
Oh, no, you're fine. I can't think of anything else.
Okay, then we're going to go do some discussion right now.
Yeah.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
All right, this is the discussion section of the show. It's usually your letters. Sometimes it's our choice. And this week,
This year.
This week, it is a letter from one of you. And here comes. Hello, Jules and Marconin. It's been a while since I've listened to Triple T. Real life gets in the way. I just listened to episode 141 and remembered everything I love about Triple T. I have written into the show before, Frost Mage Anxiety. And I'm now happily back at being an Arcane Mage, although I really did enjoy the Frost Mage. I've been playing WoW since mid-Burning Crusade. I've primarily played leveling alts, auction house stuff, and the occasional LFR group. I've been a member of CTR since almost the beginning and love the community. My schedule for work prevents me from raiding regularly, so I really haven't formed any friendships in-game. I went to the Minnesota meetup 2 years ago, and I had a great time talking to you, Jules, Pat Crane, and all of the guildies. Due to my schedule, I've been out of the country every time BlizzCon is held. But this year, I will be home. I went online and I got a ticket to BlizzCon. I'm not generally a shy person, but I feel excited and a little anxious about being a BlizzCon virgin. I don't have any friends going with me, so my question is, what do you suggest I do to make the most of my first time at BlizzCon? How do I get over these anxious feelings? Being an older person, 51, I sometimes feel like I don't fit in with the crowd. Thanks in advance for your advice and suggestions. Best wishes for Triple T from 112 Arcane Mage on CTR Airy Peak.
Fantastic name.
I love that name.
I really like that one.
He's fantastic. His name is Eric. He's fantastic. I've met him. Cool. I met him at the Minnesota meetup. He's so nice. So I thought, this would be a good letter for us to talk about, and not necessarily about BlizzCon itself, but this is meetup season. This is like time when people are getting together, and I think for it, we can kind of make this more broad than just talking about BlizzCon, because I know that there are a lot of people who listen to this show who are like dying to go to BlizzCon and they can't, and this is kind of hard to listen to. So I don't want to make it all about our experiences at BlizzCon. But so I think it'll be fun for us to kind of talk about those ways where you can feel like you fit in these meetups where you don't know anybody, because hopefully you have an opportunity to go do one at some point with somebody. So Marconin, the first time that you went to BlizzCon, was that really your first WoW meetup, or were there others prior?
It was pretty much my first WoW meetup with anybody that I didn't already know. Yep. In real life ahead of time, because all my other WoW friends that I'd met really in person, other than going to Houston and meeting a couple of people, this was just my first time at a really big event. Mm-hmm. I'd gone to Dragon Con. I think it was that year I went to Dragon Con as well, and that was a whole different animal. Like 80,000 people just running around and everything, and it was very intimidating.
See,
But
I think BlizzCon in itself is overwhelming, but
it is.
going to some place like to Dragon Con with that many people, I don't know. I don't honestly know if I would be able to handle that well, because it's just
Yeah.
so many people.
It is.
Oh,
It is. And you see some of the best costumes you'll see anywhere. A lot of the cosplayers are there, and it's just spot on costumes, and of course all the panels, and you're
yeah,
meeting all the, you get to go into the autograph rooms and meet some of the stars that you wanted to meet, for years
yeah.
and all that. So it's really neat. But it was, even for me, it was
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming. There were a couple
Yeah,
times where I just had to kind of stay away, and it was very
yeah.
intimidating.
The interesting thing about, like, so next week I'm going up to Minneapolis for maybe a 40-45 person meetup, and then in the summer we're going to go to Nerdtacular, which is about a
Hmm.
700 person meetup, and then there's BlizzCon, which is a 27,000 person meetup. So it just, the range of sizes is really it's a very different scenario for each one, but there's a common thread through every single one of them, and that is every single person who is going has some anxiety about going. I have anxiety about going to the Minnesota meetup, even though people are coming there to see us, to see me and Arcane and Pat Crane and all that stuff. I still have anxiety about it. It feels
Hmm.
so weird sometimes to have that whole thing come together, and then I don't, some people I don't know, and so it's that weird, like, I don't know you, and that, all of that feeling. So I find it really, really helpful in all of this is that if you have kind of established a couple of relationships before you go, it makes it so much easier because you
It
feel
does.
like you have backup. It's like that. It's like that little support beam that sticks in your back and holds you upright. When you
Hmm.
have those people, it just, like, for me, it lessens my anxiety completely. Like, I know, like, that first year when we went to Nerdtacular, I was scared. I was really scared because nobody knew. I didn't know anybody except Arcane. We were going there together, and we met a ton of people, and it was fantastic, and it was like one of the best times we'd ever had. But it was like this going in there, like, I don't know anybody, and I don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't know what to do with myself. So I'll talk a little bit about my experience at Nerdtacular. The very first time we went there, it was just me and Kane. We wanted to go, but we didn't know anybody, and they had this amazing game night meetup, and it was awesome. It was just this place. They were in a different location than they are now, so you had to drive to get there. So we had to get a car, and we drove to this park, and it was like in a little annex in the park, in an inside location that the attendees put together. Was totally done off, like, by the fans, and people brought food and they brought games, and so we sat down at this table with a whole bunch of strangers, and we played Cards Against Humanity for the very first time. That's what we did.
Uh, that's an introduction right there.
That is a way to break the ice, dude.
That obliterates the ice.
It does. And so Nerdtacular is famous for that. They have, on the Thursday night beforehand, it's Thursday night, I think. They have a gaming time, like a room where people, and they have it throughout the whole time. It's just gaming place. And when you go to BlizzCon, the lobby at the Hilton is like the place that you go to see everybody. There's people
Hmm.
everywhere, and there's people to meet everywhere. So it's just like, because I found that's really cool is that nerds like to gather because we don't like being by ourselves and feeling outside. So we just like to gather. And that is what's so cool about these meetups is that people just want to be around other people, and they're so cool about kind of putting themselves with you and hanging out. And so I happened to meet at that Cards Against Humanity deal that we did. I met a girl named Julia who has become a friend of mine, and she is now married to one of the developers at Blizzard, and we saw her again last year. Saw them both, Julia and John, last year at Nerdtacular, and we hung out with them, and we had dinner for my birthday, and it was just great. And so we just you don't know who you're going to get a chance to meet when you go to these things. You just don't. And
Yeah.
But I can't imagine. I don't know if I would be okay going by myself to something when I didn't know anybody. So I got to ask you to talk about that.
Yeah, it's definitely it was one of those things where I even though I seem extra extroverted a lot of times, I in situations where I don't know anybody, I'm very closed off. I'm very timid and apprehensive about, like, it's almost like I don't want to be there. But I just kind of put I fought with myself mentally and said, look, you are here, you're spending all this money, you are here to have a good time. Just go out there and talk to some people, just do something. And I did know Gemmet, because I'd met Gemmet back in 2012. And I was rooming with him, so I knew him. But of course, when you get there, you kind of find your people and you do your own thing. So I was by myself a lot that first year.
Yeah.
Just experiencing all that stuff. But I was fortunate enough to make a few friends and meet a few people early on, and kind of latch onto them,
Yeah.
and hang out with them, because Jessica Chaos and her boyfriend and we sat through the opening ceremonies, and I had tried to find you and Pat that first morning, but
Yep.
everybody had gone in already, and so I was just going to be there by myself, and I was kind of like, oh boy, this is, I'm trapped in this huge group of people. And it just so happened that Jessica Chaos was walking by me as we were all filing in, and so I saw her and and asked if I could sit with them, so that helped kind of.
Yes.
It helped kind of give me a little safety rope to hold on to.
Yeah.
And so that was great. And of course, you get in there and you get fired up and you get excited, and they do all the reveals, and it kind of just washes over you, all this excitement and all this, just you are here right now.
Yes.
And it is just a very, very cool experience. So you just I would kind of say, just try to, if you got any kind of apprehensions or just kind of shyness about it, just if you can, try your best to overcome it, because you're putting in a lot of time and money to come, so it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it anyway. But it's no, I don't think anybody would blame you for just coming up and starting a conversation, especially if you see anybody with a CTR shirt or, an AIE shirt or anything. If you see somebody with the same class T-shirt that you do, be like, dude, how the heck are Shadow Priests right now? What do you think?
Yeah.
Or like, man, what kind of pally do you run? Oh, Holy One Protection. That's cool. How do you like it? It's one of those. That's the cool thing about it, because for instance, at Dragon Con, there are so many fandoms going around.
Yes.
There's like dozens and dozens of fandoms. So you may not have anything in common with the Stormtrooper next to you or the Doctor Who cosplayer next to them. But at BlizzCon, that you're in the same family. Like, all the games are in the same family. So like, there were a couple guys that first year, I was just walking around the lobby, and the guy was like, hey dude, nice shirt, because I was wearing a Back to the Future shirt, and I stopped and talked to him, and turns out that they play competitive StarCraft. And I was like, that's really awesome. I really haven't played it since the first one, although I've played a little bit of the second one. And they were asking me what I do, and I was like, I play WoW. I play a gnome mage, and held up my little thing. He's like, oh, that's awesome, dude. How do you like that? And so it kind of, you're able to talk with other people.
Yeah.
You can start a conversation very easily, and just like 2020 says, just say hi.
Yeah.
Say hi and introduce yourself. Be like, wow, this is amazing. Is this your first BlizzCon? Or is this your first WonderCon or Comic-Con or any other con? And just try and be like, how's it going? Just try and put yourself out just a little bit. If you like 20 says, ask about their fandom. If they're in the most awesome Stormtrooper outfit you've ever seen, be like, dude, that's awesome. Did you build that yourself, or is there a kit, or or something about that? And just ask them about that stuff. Were you there when the first movies came out, or when did you first see Star Wars, or when did you first see Doctor Who? Which Doctor's your favorite? Or even if you don't know much about it, you can because people are always happy to talk about their fandoms.
Yeah.
That's why they're fans of it. It's because they really dig in deep and know it and love it. So that's something you can always, if you're afraid to talk, just ask questions. That's a big thing right there. Just ask questions and let them talk to you, and that kind of helps ease you into it because you're interacting, but you're in a more of a passive stance.
Yeah.
And you're just
so
and it
true.
kind of breaks down, it kind of dissolves the barriers a little bit because you're getting to know somebody, and then if they're a good conversation person, they'll ask you, and then it's a back and forth, and then it just kind of eases you into this whole experience that you have. And it does get easier. Believe me, it gets easier. Because last year, the second time I went, it was a lot easier for me to talk to people and to of course, because I knew a whole lot more people last year, and I could just run up to them or something, and so it was a lot easier. But it does get easier even that first time you're there. And yeah, if you see anybody with CTR badge, you can be like, you've got a friend right there.
Oh gosh.
You know.
Yeah. I think it's such a great method when you're not sure, because you got to remember that pretty much every single person who goes to a con, and unless they are going with a pack of people where they're kind of insulated and isolated with that pack of people, they're looking for people to converse with. They're looking for interaction. They're looking for that kind of connection, and so I think it's going to be a lot easier than you expect at something like BlizzCon. And the point you made was absolutely so true, which is we're all on the same team. Like we have the same fandom. So our conversation starters are like, just grab one out of the bag and throw it.
Have you played Hearthstone yet? What do you think about that?
Hey, you want to do a match on my phone? Because we're right here. That kind of thing.
Oh, man. What's your battle tag?
What's your battle tag? Let's do a match right here. And that is the total, like there's so many icebreakers, but I think it's just helpful to remember that when you're going through your own anxiety in these meetups, it's everybody else that's feeling the same thing you are. And for the most part, I mean, not everybody feels anxious, but a lot of people do because it's weird and uncomfortable and you're going to strangers in a strange place. But I find that. So just a couple tips for BlizzCon if you're going. The first day you're there, usually on Wednesday or Thursday. Actually, Wednesday's a good day to do this. If you get there on Wednesday, is to go to the fountain in front of the con. Because everybody's got they got the big signs up on the outside of the con, and everybody loves to come up there and take pictures. So there's a ton of people that tend to gather up there, and then there's just like little groups that form, and like, hey, where are you from? And I met people from England, from Australia, from Norway, from all over the country, just from being up at that fountain. It's like smack right in front of the
That's right.
con.
That's right.
And so that's a great place. There's the two hotels that are right across from each other as well, outside the convention center, the Marriott and the Hilton. And there are people that gather in both lobbies, mainly in the Hilton. So if you're looking for people that look kind of like they're WoW players, you can wander in there and just be like, hey, how's it going? That kind of thing. And I just think that there's a lot of different options for people who are going to these cons. And so like Nerdtacular, because everybody who's hanging around for the most part is someone going to Nerdtacular, you're pretty much in your same crowd. And, like we just wandered through and found a group of people that were hanging around in one of the conference areas. And we wound up playing a couple games of Cards Against Humanity with these strangers. Again, it was like another stranger game. It was perfect. So I just feel like you... have to remember that the anxiety that you feel is being mirrored by other people.
Yeah, it's completely natural.
Yeah, I would also recommend, because you're a member of CTR or in any guild that you're in, if you're in a guild in WoW, is to find people who are going. If you're on Twitter, Facebook, if you're in your guild, that kind of thing, find people that you are somewhat familiar with that you know are going. And then if they're on social media, follow what they're following. Because a lot of people who are at the con are saying, here, I'm here. Come hang out here. Here's some pictures of me, blah. And so then you know where people are. So I just think that it is there's a lot of options for people to just spend time with each other. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there will be. And once you get in there, and if you can get over that initial hump of anxiety and of nervousness and presupposing what people are thinking about you and all this stuff, then you'll do just fine.
yeah,
But there were some points when I was sitting there and I was surrounded by other people. They were all joking and talking. I was just sitting. I didn't know anybody, and I was almost ready to stand up and go back to the hotel, but I waited, and that way I got to meet Remedies
mm-hmm.
and just a whole bunch of other people, and it was really nice to just sit there. And once you break the ice, once you first start talking about it, it gets a whole lot easier and a whole lot more comfortable.
Yeah,
Because these are people just like you that love the same things you love,
mm-hmm.
and they're all there to enjoy. They're not there to make enemies. They're there to make friends and enjoy the whole experience with other people. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Otherwise, they would just stay at home and get the virtual ticket.
Now I'm thinking about something where you're going to a con for the day. So let's say you go, like, for instance, we're going to stop by the Minneapolis Comic-Con for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a mix of fandoms. That is, everything and anything. So a couple suggestions in that kind of thing. If you're going by yourself and you see someone who is, at a booth and they have really cool artwork and you say, hey, I just love your stuff, that kind of thing. If there's a bunch of people who are hanging around with cosplay pictures, tell the cosplayers how much you appreciate the hard work they've done. Ask them how long it took them to build the costume. All of those things that you can start to have a conversation with people and start to get to know people.
That's very true.
Yeah. So I just think, the cons that we've been talking about are kind of like these like couple day things. You're staying there. So if it's something where you're just going for the day, just look at the couple things you could do to start a conversation with somebody. So
yeah, you can even like just find, even if you have to write down like 5 or 10 questions, icebreaker questions, that are, nerd specific or fandom specific,
Yeah.
just to have ready to go in your mind or on your phone or something, just to remember it, then do that. Just even if it's just a canned question, you go like, hi, how are you today? Or, I love your cosplay costume. That's awesome. Did you, how long did it take? Like you were saying, and that really starts the conversation along. And even if the conversation doesn't last that long, you still had an interaction.
Yeah.
If you don't have a whole lot in common, then still you're like, hey, good job. I really appreciate your hard work. You did great work.
And wear a conversation starter t-shirt like Mark Honan did. Have some prepared answers if someone goes, dude, I really like your shirt. Remember what you're wearing, because this is what happened to me. I went to the Minneapolis Comic-Con, and I have this t-shirt that has a cat dressed as Freddy Krueger.
I remember that one.
The t-shirt. And so I wear that, and this girl goes, oh, my God. I love your shirt. And I forgot what I was wearing. So here's me staring at my own boobs. What did I do? Oh, yeah. And then I had nothing else to say about it. So wear a conversation starter t-shirt and remember what you wore that day.
Yeah.
Because that was quite the fun. But, hey, I make people laugh because I laugh at myself. Usually it's like, oh, maybe so I'm staring at my own chest. But so there's so many things that you can do. I think it is going to be the best opportunity for you to make connections that you would never make before. It's once you get over that hump of getting out there and putting yourself in front of other people. Your mom just told me to show you my boobs. Okay. Mark Conan's mom is
actually
feisty
that's
tonight.
That's my dad on her account.
Oh, is it? Hi, Papa Conan. So, and I just lost my train of thought. In any case, have fun, enjoy it. It's going to be an experience like you are never going to believe, and you will never forget. So, enjoy it.
Yeah. You're there with a lot of people just like you. Just dig in and just inundate yourself with the experience. There's no reason not to, because don't waste this chance to see people and to meet others and have fun and just really enjoy where you are and why you're there.
Yeah. I try to, like what happens when we go in for an opening ceremony group, we try to get as many chairs as we can, But so I tend to collect people. This is a great story. So we were with a group. We had a group of people, and we were literally hanging on to each other. We had our hands on our shoulders, just trying to push our way through and get seating. And this last year, and we sat down, and I look about 4 rows in front of me, and I see someone standing on a chair, looking around, just looking around, and I realize that it's MacGyver. And so I stand up and I bellow at him, MacGyver, and then he didn't hear me, so we got all 4 of us to stand up and yell his name. So he gets and he turns and he goes, oh, and he goes, the other guy, see right here. So it was great. We try to collect people as they come by.
Yeah.
So that was the best. And you then when you have the opportunity to see people, or if you're walking through and you see an open chair, ask if it's open and just sit down and talk to people. It's going to be a great experience for you.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Now I'm so excited. I want to go to BlizzCon right now. So
Yeah.
if you have a topic for our discussion, if you have any tips for 112 about BlizzCon that you'd like to share about going for your first time, please do. questions@taurenThinkTank.com is our email address, and you can find us there. All right, Marconin. Now that we've talked about conversation starters and looking at boobs.
What a better way to transition.
What a better way to transition than to thank our wonderful patrons. That is the worst transition I have ever made on this show, ever. Patrons, you are not boobs, I promise. Well, maybe you are, but I'm just going to keep sticking my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
We want to take a moment to mention those who support our show, our patrons. You guys are awesome. You are not boobs unless you want to be. And we certainly do appreciate all the support you give us. Our show will always be free. Our patrons help us to do even more. Right, Marconin?
Right.
You want to help me out here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, I was catching up on the chat room. Yeah, and we fully thank you so much for the people who have supported the show. It means a lot to us, and we use it to bring a better experience and add new things to the show. A show will always be free, but even just $1 a month will help us greatly. We've revised our goals also. We've kind of switched things up. We've added goals for a monthly call-in show and also a weekly gaming stream for our patrons.
You guys have asked us for call-in shows like crazy, and so we decided that we are going to make it a goal because it would be an additional show every month, but something we would definitely do for you. So we've added that and a weekly gaming stream if we hit a certain level, so you guys can come game with us. Like, this is cool stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we're over halfway to our very first goal, which is to create a searchable database. It's got all of the questions and discussion topics from all of our past shows there for you, easy access, and it's all archived and ready to go. So, we're we're over halfway there.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And if you guys would want to be a patron, you can join us on Patreon at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank.
You can. Never hire us to do ad reads, by the way. Never, ever, ever, because we apparently really suck at it today.
Just today.
Oh, my gosh. All right, don't hire us today to do ad reads. How's that?
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow we can do that.
You can hire us to do advice, which is what we're going to do right now with a think tank.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
And this is the Think Tank, the part of the show where we have an advice question from you, mostly focused around WoW, sometimes not. Depends on what the mailbox holds for us. And the mailbox has a WoW question for us this week, so here we go. Good Triple T. My wife and I love the show, and I appreciate the responses from my previous discussion question. I have a different leadership type question. Do you have to be a jerk occasionally in a leadership position? Backstory. While raiding in the new guild, there are times where some of the raiding officers, and unfortunately there are several, call out people for little mistakes or tell people to shut up during a pull or while we're discussing strategy between pulls. I understand some of this behavior, at least somewhat, to try to make someone aware of their mistakes or to not crowd voice chat with too much voice so that an actual conversation can be heard. However, I know that continuously doing so will lead to people leaving the group due to hostility, especially if a lot of people tend to do this. We have already lost a few members, due to in part this reason, with hints that others may leave. However, others in the group seem to think that the leadership is too lax. When I used to lead a raid, I did some of this but tried to keep it to a minimum. For example, I allowed people to talk in turn as opposed to letting people talk all over the place. While we did well, there were times where I had to tell someone to get out of the fire name. You should know this. However, I don't think the raid I lead was nearly as bad as this one can occasionally be. The people calling out others were either myself or someone I appointed to watch for a certain mechanic. Also, I used to tell people something along the lines of what Ender from Ender's Game, the movie, said. If anyone had an idea that they think is better than mine, I want to hear it. I can't be expected to do all of the thinking. There is some sort of relationship between being respected, being a jerk, or being lax. Where exactly does that line get crossed? Thanks for any input from the creepy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't you don't have to be a jerk, but you have to lay down the law. You know, if you got rules and you're trying to figure out the strategy, you know, you need a clear vent or mumble channel.
Yeah.
And, you know, people have to know the fight. They have to have personal responsibility on not standing in the stupid, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you got to call them out if they're doing something wrong. I mean, Jules, what do you think? There's a way to be an assertive leadership figure without devolving into being a jerk.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's all in the wording, I think, in the way you say it.
Well,
am I kind of right in part of that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I struggle with this every single week as a raid leader. Every single week. Because it is so easy to let your emotions take over when you're frustrated and when you're leading.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guilty of it. I've done it recently. And it's just, you know, and I'm ashamed of it when I do it, but it's, you know, it's just because it comes from a place of wanting to succeed. And I've seen all types. I mean, you know, there's no secret out there that I used to raid with Dairies from Convert to Raid. And that is one of the more extreme examples of a raid leader that that would just basically, he wants you to perform. And if you're not performing, it is going to be told to you in very matter-of-fact, plain terms that you did not do right. And unfortunately, what happens when you're dealing with people is that if you are not cognizant of their emotions and their feelings on the matter, you can very, very easily make it a very unpleasant place to be. So it is a very difficult thing to do. So what I try to do, and this has been a long time in coming, you know, many years of raiding, many years of helping lead a team and put together a team, is that I will ask when we've wiped, I will ask people, okay, what went wrong?
Yeah.
I will ask them to tell me. Because what it means is that if they don't tell me and I know the answer, you know, some so-and-so stood in fire, which means that we blew up and we wiped the raid. So if I know that answer and I don't hear so-and-so, you know, so let's say Bob stood in fire and wiped the raid. And Bob doesn't speak up and go, it was my bad. I did that. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Then I know that Bob is not taking responsibility for his own actions. And I want a team where people are being like, you know what? I effed up. That was my bad. I'm really sorry. I won't do it again. And I've been in a situation where I was the one who was effing up and I couldn't get the mechanic. I mean, we were doing like last expansion's heroic, so top level, and I just couldn't get it. It was like there were these balls of fire coming from every direction. There was no rhyme or reason to it, and I would just continually just get hit by them because I couldn't figure out where to stand to not get hit.
Yeah, couldn't see the pattern.
There was no pattern, and so it was like, I don't know what to do. And so I don't want to be that person who's sitting there and mumble getting someone yelling at me going, Jules, what the hell is wrong with you? But I've been that person. And feels awful.
Mm-hmm.
It feels terrible. And so if I were on Mumble going, Marconin, God damn it, why can't you stay out of fire? You're not going to want to do anything for me.
Not at all.
No. And so, and what happens is that the raid leader is reacting out of emotion. It's frustration and feeling is a powerlessness because you're not able to you can tell them all till you're blue in the face, hey, stay out of the stupid fire. But if you don't stay out of the fire, I can't stop you from staying out of the fire. I can say, move, 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 and everybody's supposed to move. But if you don't move, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
So, so I think that is the answer to this. My opinion is you do not have to be a jerk, but you do have to be forthcoming and sometimes forceful. So we have this thing on our team. I'm going to say it. I'm going to talk about it. We have a thing on Cat on Fire where some of our AoE classes like to do extra damage to pull the entire room, mainly by something called Starfall or Barrage, and think it's funny. But so think about if you've been in Blackrock and you're in that front room and there's all those mobs in the front and somebody in your raid decides to hit Starfall that hits everything and it comes running to you and wipes you out, and you're just like, and a couple times it's funny. After a while, people are frustrated, and then it happens again, and everybody's frustrated. And so, I finally just said, "Enough with this. Can we not do this again? Because it's just slowing us down."
Yeah, just take it off the bars.
Yeah, please don't barrage, or please don't Starfall the entire group. Please stop that. So, hello, cell phone.
I was gonna say that got me right in the ear.
Hello. That wasn't my cell phone.
That wasn't mine either.
That's weird. Mine is muted. Anyway, somebody else's cell phone was going. And in any case, so it is one of those things where you're where I got a little frustrated and I was like, can we not do this? And so that's how I said it. And like, I wish I could have said that a little bit better. I wish I could have expressed it, but I was just done. And so I think that it's very common for a raid leader to deal with this stuff and to try to not let their frustration come out in their voice. But I don't ever want to berate somebody for a mistake. I mean, if we've had the same mistakes over and over again in the raid, I will just say, are we just not ready for this? Just tell me truthfully, are we just not ready to do this yet? Do you guys want to just move to something else? Do you want to go back to normals? I mean, it's like, you got to tell me what we need to do. So that's how I see it. What do you think at this point?
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, because especially with the kind of the powerlessness feeling you were talking about earlier, because if you agree to raid, you're kind of agreeing that you've got the same or similar goals to the raid leader and the team as a group. And you're expected to perform. You're expected to do the research. You're expected to know the fights, know what to stand in, what not to stand in. If you've got questions, ask them before the pull. Be knowledgeable and be ready to go. I mean, if it's a brand new fight, then yeah, there's room for learning. But there's a good chunk of personal responsibility when you raid. It's a given, because you're dedicating time to do the raid. You're dedicating time and using up a lot of other people's time, and you don't have to be the best person in the raid, but you just got to be willing to listen and willing to learn. Those are the top two things: learn and listen.
Yeah.
And just that. And I can understand a lot, because I've had this happen before, where people don't try to improve. They're just there to kind of waste time, and then you get into the whole thing of needing to kick somebody, which is a whole different bag of worms. But just, it all boils down to your leadership style and learning how to be a good leader. And a good leader doesn't scream at people or be mean. A good leader is an enabler. They're teaching. If someone doesn't know the mechanic, okay, well, this is how this works. Here's a YouTube video of how it works. Please be ready next week. Make it a reasonable goal. Make it a reasonable make the expectations reasonable, but enough of an improvement where we can down these bosses, we can get further on, and if people don't listen, or they're trying to they're not listening to you know the instructions, they're not listening and being polite over the voice chat. That's something that needs to be addressed as well. There's just a certain amount of expectation that as raid leaders and leaders in general, you expect from the people underneath you. You expect them to listen to you and to learn and bring up constructive criticism and objections. And as long as everybody's on board with that, then you should be okay. But I know that's an ideal situation that rarely ever happens ever.
Right.
So it's all in how you deal with it, how you deal with the people in there, and I'm all for giving, for being a nice guy and a nice leader, listening to them and trying to get them to politely do better. Talk to them politely, inform them what they did wrong. Hey, can you not stand in that? But then it gets, you're right. It does get to where you just can't deal with, someone messing up over and over and over and over. And that's as a leader, you kind of have to take a step back and cool off and really just kind of, and then just reset and come back to it, because I know there's frustration for everybody else as well.
Yeah.
Because I know the Starfall thing. Yeah, that was frustrating to me too.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Because
it's one of those
repair
things.
bills suck.
You just have to keep, it stops the momentum of the raid. And one time is funny. After that, it can get a little bit frustrating. So, I'm also curious too with the situation with the discussions that are going on in Mumble. I've had this too. Everybody just wants to talk about other stuff, especially if we're pulling trash or we're doing this, or we're talking about the latest stuff that happened on Game of Thrones, or that kind of thing. I think that I just kind of say, hey, hang on just a second, guys, we need to talk about this part. And I really go with the one at a time discussion, or what do you think, or what do you think, or what do you think? I ask those kinds of questions to get people to speak up. If they're not, if people are afraid to say something, or we're trying to make a decision, what I typically do is I just say, okay, we're going to do a ready check. This is one thing, this is another. And then everybody votes. So we try to get a consensus. So if you're stuck on a strat and you have dissenting opinions, that is a way to do it too. Is say people are like, I think we should pull from this direction, I think we should pull from that direction, blah blah blah. So I just do a vote and majority rules if I can't, if the decision hasn't been made. So yeah. Anything else that you wanted to talk about in relation to this?
Well, Just Plain Creepy asked, is the perception of being a jerk an issue of the leader or of the team? What do you think about that?
See, I think it's just a matter. I think the leader sets the tone for the team all the time, because when you have, whoever is leading your team has a certain philosophy on how they want that team to be run. And if they start coming into that saying, I'm going to be the dictator, and I'm going to tell everybody what they have to do, and I'm going to be that force to be reckoned with, like, you must listen to everything I say, and if you screw up, you're going to be held accountable for it. Honestly, if that's how you want to lead your team, then you need to be clear about it at the beginning. And you need to tell people, this is my style, this is how I do things, this is what if you're dealing with a team where people are just deciding to leave because they don't like how the leader is running things, then this is a difference between the two. It's like philosophies. And some people who have that kind of dictatorial leader want to say, well, I can handle him, I can handle how he does things. But at the same time, they're looking at it going, well, I don't like to be berated in front of everybody, so I guess I'm just not gonna, I'm not cut out for this, or, but some people like to try to say, well, I can withstand it, I can handle anything, he can tell me anything and I won't care, that kind of philosophy,
Yeah.
rating with dairies, there were a lot of people who were like, he's tough. Oh yeah, he is tough. You just kind of live in fear that you're the one that's going to screw up next, and if you do, then man, you got to be prepared to get an earful on it, because that's how he runs his team. That's how he does it. So
yeah, so it is it's kind of subjective, on what condones being a jerk. If somebody is very assertive and very matter of fact, some people consider that to be matter of fact, like, yeah,
Yep.
he means business. Other people say, well, he's a jerk.
yeah,
It's kind of subjective in how in your expectations for the raid, like you were saying.
yeah,
The rating and the leading philosophies are different, so it just
yeah.
kind of depends.
So now, in a case where you've got somebody who is causing leadership dissension, there's people who are not happy with the way that the leader is treating the team, a conversation is going to help some of that. At least an honest conversation. Say, look, man, when you tell people, when can we do this a different way so that you're not calling out someone can you send them a whisper and ask them, why are you standing in fire versus why are you, like Mark Honan, why the hell did you die to the fire again? And make you have to answer in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And so it just, I'm not in a position where I feel like, I mean, I've worked on this so hard, so I think about it and I try not to be a tyrant. So yeah, I don't understand. Looks like we've got some problems with Alpha Geek. So I'm gonna pause right here and just check my settings, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
And I'm going to see if maybe the dinging sound was from my room, which I don't know why it would be. Yeah, cat jumped on it. Say something, 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 something. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. See if we are back in business. See if that helps. Yeah, there was a phone going off. I should be able to. You should be able to hear me. There was a phone that was going off across the room that I didn't know about, that wasn't on silent, so I had to silent that phone. Check, check, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? I don't have the mic muted, so we should be good. I don't have anything else muted. If you can hear me, say so. And then I wait a few seconds. Hey, okay, good. Okay, 5x5. Thanks, Moo. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was coming through because I thought maybe I'd muted something unintentionally. All right. Well, I muted both because I didn't want to, look around or something, so. Oh, cool, Buttress. Yeah, I am.
I found it.
All right.
Yeah, that's what happens when you plug in a new audio device to your computer. It actually it switched the input to the wrong input. So it's like,
There we
oh,
go.
that's not the right input it should be going to.
Yeah, and I found out the dinging was Mrs. Conan's work phone that was not on silent.
Oh, okay.
So I muted that. I turned it off, so it won't happen again.
All right, so let's mark this here at 10:11. Okay. All right. So we're gonna I'll 3, 2, 1, and we'll just pick up the closing out of this one.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1. So I think the message here is you don't need to be a jerk, but I know a lot of people who are when it comes to raid leading, and its approach. It's a lot of people just lead by dictatorship or by aggression, if you want to put it that way, to say, I'm so frustrated that I let it get out of control. And it's hard.
It is, and for a lot of raid leaders, sometimes it's their first time in leadership.
Yes.
Because maybe they're not a leader in the real world or with any other aspect of their life, and this is the first time, like, I want to raid. No one else is making a team. I will do it. And so they don't really have any training in being a leader necessarily, or they've never had an experience in it. And so they're just shooting from the hip. And when things go bad, they get mad. When things get mad, they fire off. And so sometimes it's inexperience as a leader that you can attest it to. And sometimes it's, you don't know how to handle the leading of other people, don't know how to do it diplomatically, but while still being assertive.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about that's an excellent point. The other thing I would say that if you are a good or have the makings of a good raid leader, you'll be willing to listen. You'll be willing to listen to somebody who gives you the feedback to say, when you act this way, when you talk like this, it makes people feel bad and they don't want to stay. And somebody who's inexperienced is probably going to go, well, then I didn't need them anyway. You don't need them on my team anyway because they can just move on. So
we don't need any healers.
Yeah.
We'll just fill it with burst DPS and burn the boss down. All mages. Time warp.
Yeah, and you don't want to lead by fear. If someone is leading
never.
by fear, like, I was afraid of screwing up when Darius was my raid leader because I knew that I was going to get blasted.
Yeah, I had a raid leader like that back in Wrath and Kata.
Yeah. So in any case, it's one of those things that communication to the raid leader is going to make a difference. If you're feeling like you can aside with him or her and say, hey, when some of those times where you've talked about people screwing up, my suggestion is instead of saying tell Bob, why did you stand in fire? Is to give people more personal responsibility on that front to say, what's somebody stood in fire, huh? Or, hey, what wiped us? What went wrong? How can we fix it? So it's just one of those little things that you can do to change how you approach it, and the words you use can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the butcher says, I hate raiding with Bob. Yeah, we all hate raiding with Bob.
Bob, get out of the fire. Bob,
get out
don't
of
pull
the
the
fire,
F's.
damn it, Bob.
Now, Bob, what did you do?
It's like raiding with Dave. It's right. Bob and Dave need to make their own raid team where they stand in fire and everybody's happy. All right. So I thank you, the Creepy One, for your question for this evening. If you have a question for the Think Tank, man, we've got some good ones in the hopper, but we could use some more. So if you've got something on your mind and you're ready to send it in, you've got 2 weeks to do it because we're not going to be here next week. So you can think about it, get your phrasing right, and send it over to questions@torrenthinktank.com. Get it ready for our next upcoming shows because we'd love to be there for you when you need it. So now it's some time for us. We're going to stop talking about Bob for a little bit. We'll talk about some other goofy stuff. This is where all the show titles get made, people. It's Tell Us One Thing.
Yes, it is.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
It is that time for Tell Us One Thing, and it's brought to you by
The Iron Man Challenge. It's back, ladies and gentlemen. The Iron Man Challenge is one of the most difficult challenges in World of Warcraft. You level your character wearing only white or gray quality armor. No using potions, no using elixirs, heirlooms, and most importantly, no dying. If you die even once, you're out. Start all over again. You also have two additional challenges on the website for the peaceful pacifists and the ravenously bloodthirsty. Over 1,000 Iron Men and women have accepted this challenge since the Cataclysm, but less than a dozen have succeeded in this ultimate test of endurance and skill. Are you up for the challenge? The Iron Man Challenge is now hosted on the wowchallenges.com website. You can also follow them on Twitter at wowchallenges.
All right, we're starting our first one off from Memeth. In honor of Penguin Con, Alaire the Phoenix is going to, what would you wear to show you are a geek among geeks?
I don't know. Like, just in general, like what would really show off geek cred?
Yeah, like, I mean, and it could be anything. Are you gonna put a full cosplay uniform, or wear a penguin costume? Or I don't know. What's your geek among geeks cred?
Well, I mean, if I could just do anything, yeah, I would really go all out and wear, some kind of just huge armor or huge cosplay outfit, something that, that I don't, in real life, I don't have time to build or anything, like I could do, I was thinking, maybe cosplay as the Iron Giant or something just huge and just really go all out. That would be really cool to do. As far as what, I don't really know something that would really set me apart as a geek among geeks in, what I have now. Closest thing is my little nod to Dresden Files t-shirt, my Max Brown Ale or McAnally's t-shirt that I bought, last year. So that would be cool. Midnight says she could see me dressed as a Draenei Ret Pally.
Yeah, no kidding.
That would be cool.
Oh, that would be awesome. I would love to get one of those costume hoodies. The ones that are like, so Spider-Man or something like that, where it's like the full hoodie is decorated in that costume.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'd love to get one with the She-Ra outfit. And so it has like the winged headdress, and I could pull it up and wear that. I mean, because honestly, I'm not a cosplayer. I'd love to. I just don't have the creativity or the building prowess or the time or all that kind of thing. So if I ever cosplayed, it would be a costume that someone either made for me that I commissioned or that I bought. So that would probably be the geekiest that I would go without being in full cosplay.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would do.
That is cool.
Yeah. So I've seen those all over the place, and I'm like, dude, I could not just wear that to work. I would not be able to go to work wearing my She-Ra hoodie.
You could, but it would be an interesting day.
It would be an interesting day. Not that I actually see anybody when I'm, I don't greet any customers or anything like that. It's just literally like the transportation between the two places.
Yeah.
So
just going down rush hour traffic and
like,
cars next to you seeing you.
Yeah, seriously. My general uniform in the winter is like a t-shirt and a black hoodie of some sort. So that is my normal like uniform that I wear to work every day because I don't care. Like no one's gonna see me. I'm warm and comfy, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's
read
see.
the next one, please.
Yeah, from Southard_Samuel. What is the most inspirational / heartwarming thing that Triple T has done for you or shown you?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. There are so many, and normally they're when we're at a meetup of some sort, and we actually get a chance to see you guys. There's two that come to my immediate attention. One of them was someone who I saw at BlizzCon last year, and so I was actually walking during the World of Podcast event. I was walking down the long hallway that was connecting all of the rooms that they had stuff going on. And I walked past this group of people because people were kind of gathering, and this one guy saw me, and he looked and he goes, "Oh my God." And he goes, "You're Jules from Tauren Think Tank." And he stopped me, and he was shaking. Like, he was vibrating. He was shaking. He was so excited. And he said, "Can I get a hug?" And I said, "Absolutely." And so I gave him "Can I get a picture?" Yes. And as I put my arm around him, he was just shaking. And it was just, I felt so bad. I was just like, it's just me. But he was so excited to see me. And it was the best. Oh my God. It made me feel like the best thing ever, because he was so excited to see me. And so that was great. That was like, I was like, oh my gosh, people are like shaking because I'm here. The other one was someone who had written to the show early on, and it was a question about wanting to find a better situation with raiding and a guild. And so the question was mainly like, I'm not happy where I am, what can I do? And our advice was to follow your heart and, look for something that you think will make you happier. And if it is that something outside of your guild or your realm, go do it. Go for it. And he decided to make the leap to convert to raid, started raiding with an awesome team, had an awesome time. And then he brought his girlfriend in front of me and said, "And I met the love of my life because of this."
Aww.
And he started to cry. And it was the sweetest thing I'd ever seen. I just hugged him and I just said, "That is amazing. That is amazing." And I was like, that is so cool. And, that was, he was so happy to have what had changed in his life because of the guild and the raiding and now the love of his life. So it was very sweet. Yeah.
That is very cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't have anything quite that good, because like last year at BlizzCon, I'd only been on the show for a couple of weeks by that point. So it was, I don't really have anything as good as that. Just even as a listener before joining the show, just hearing all the replies and the comments by the listeners was very inspirational, and it was, and it was very. It's very positive, because that's what surprised me a lot about some of the topics that you guys talked about, before I joined the show, is I was very apprehensive as what some of the feedback would be. And I was pleasantly surprised that the feedback was positive, and looked at all the different angles. And it's very encouraging to hear people have civil discussions about tough issues without it devolving into name calling and just throwing things around. So that's I guess that's what I would think would be my most inspirational thing so far.
Yeah.
From Triple T.
And every week we get letters from people who tell us how much they love the show. And several times recently we've been told that Triple T is a beacon of light for those who need it the most. Or a beacon of light in the dark was another way that it was phrased. And that beyond.
Yeah, that's saying something when someone tells you that.
That's beyond. I mean, it just makes me so happy to hear that. And that's, we've always said, if we can make you think and we can make you laugh in one episode, then we've done our duty. We've done what we set out to do. And that is kind of our mission statement, is with every show, if we can make you think or we can make you laugh, and if we can do both, then we really scored. So that is the best. That is the best. But we want people to feel that way about listening to us every week. So thank you for that. There's the mushy stuff.
Thank you, Chief.
From the creepy one, what adjective do people call you that you would own that you think others wouldn't? I own up to creepy.
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. I mean, I haven't. I don't really can't really think of any that come right to mind.
How
That
about nerd?
well, yeah, I would own up to that. Absolutely,
Band geek?
without a doubt. Yeah, through and through, band geek. And
Yes.
yeah, you mage. Yeah, that's not really an adjective. It's more of what I am. But yeah, nerd, band geek. That kind of stuff. Absolutely. Yeah, I would own up to all those.
Yeah. I own up to goofball all the time. It's like I just because there are times like especially if it's just me and Kane and I will say something, I'll just do something or say something that's really off the wall, like off the wall, just to make him give me that look that he gives me, which is like, what is wrong with you?
I signed up for this.
Yes, weirdo. And every day I talk to Pat Crane pretty much every day, and he has every name in the book for me related to the weirdo, or the goofball, or. So I get that is just I have those weird moments. I don't let that fly when I'm at work because it's not the place for it. I mean, we're very relaxed and very casual, but I'm not goofy like I am at home or here, or with my friends. So, so goofball would be mine.
I like that.
That or freaky cat lady.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy cat person. I'd own up to that because it's, I wear that badge with honor. In fact, I saw some article this week saying that Taylor Swift is always talking about her cats, and so somebody called her crazy cat lady, and she was like, "The heck I am, yeah. I'm a proud cat person, I'm kind of the same way,
Mama and Papa Jules are probably here. If they're not, they're listening at some point, and they tease me because we've got the 3, and they're like, "You're gonna graduate to crazy cat lady status," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm already there. Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
It's a joy to wake up with cats surrounding you and having them all sleeping on you. It's just that's great. That's happy for me.
It is.
So, yeah,
Happy
goofball
cuddle
or
time.
crazy cat lady. You can give me either one of those, and I'll live up to it.
Run with it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You want me? Is it mine?
Yeah.
Okay. From _Lero, cost and time aside, what Blizzard character would you have fun cosplaying as?
Blizzard character. Huh. I see. Before when we were talking about cosplay, like what would you do to get your nerd flag to fly? I was thinking of Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. Like I would totally. So maybe I would do like the barbarian from Diablo 3 or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah. So that would be cool.
I'd like to. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because I could just, tromp around with this huge armor, like, rawr, with a big shield. But, I'm thinking about, let's see. I mean, I could do like a monk or something like that too, but it would be weird for me to cosplay a type of character that I never play in the game, but, it's the look of it.
That's very true.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh, if money and time aside, I would go all out and be Winston from Overwatch, like the big gorilla mech. Because you get the arm extensions like they used in like Planet of the Apes, just the huge, just hulking gorilla suit with the armor and the glasses. That would be cool. If someone could pull that off, that would just be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be badass. There were so many cool cosplay costumes for Blizzard characters at BlizzCon, and I loved it. So you gotta bet somebody's coming as Winston this year.
Yeah. Oh, someone's coming as Reaper.
Yes.
Who's the assassin lady? A Widowmaker.
Widowmaker
And Tracer.
Yes.
Like, oh man, that's gonna be cool to see all that. But yeah, I would come as Winston, or as far as like a WoW character. Gosh, I would probably just. I've always wanted to do the tier set from Dragon Soul for mages, the Time Lord set with the cog wheels on the shoulders. Where it's like quilted cloth armor,
Yeah.
so it looks even more awesome. And I would have the gears going, and if I had all the time and money in the world, I would make that. That would be my first cosplay. Would be that.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, it's so cool. I love it. Cosplay. I'd never be able to do it because I just don't have the time to make it. So and I'm bad
Yeah.
at that stuff. But it's so cool. I appreciate it so much when people do it.
Hmm.
From Super Serious 8. What is one weird food combination that you like to eat? I like pretzels and vanilla flavored yogurt.
I could see that salty and the sweet together. Um, hmm. Some people think it's weird because like if I go to Subway, they have like the sandwich shops. Some of them have the seafood and crab, which is really just fake crab meat.
Yeah.
I get that, but I put bacon on it. Do like a surf and turf.
That's okay.
It tastes really good, and people give me weird looks, and I'm like, what? It's bacon. It's better. It's better that way. Or,
I get teased. So if you fish fries here in Wisconsin are a big thing. Wisconsin fish fry on Fridays. That's the thing you do, and it's year round. And so whenever I get a fish fry, I like to dip my French fries in tartar sauce.
okay.
And people kind of go, ew, why do you do that? I no, I love it. I think it's awesome. And people go, oh, you're not supposed to do that. That's not good. So, but I like it. So there you go.
Yeah.
But the weird combination that I never understood, but my mom and my sister would do this, is they would make a sandwich with butter, grape jelly, and a slice of white American cheese. Butter, jelly, and cheese.
That is weird.
I did not like that. It was gross. It just tasted like no. Because the white American cheese is like the blandest cheese in the world. It's just, there's not a lot of flavor to it. And then you've got butter, and then you've got jelly. So there's sweet and no salty and fat.
Yeah.
I never understood it.
That is weird. There's some I forgot where this combination is more common, but it's like apple pie with cheese on it, like melted cheese on it.
Oh yeah, that's very very popular.
Yeah, I've never had it, and I'd never heard about it until recently. But there's a place in Little Rock that does it, where they just have a big hunk of apple pie and put cheddar cheese, just a big slab of it on there, let it melt into there. I need to try that because I like both of those things separate. So I would probably like it together.
I've never tried it either, and I've heard, I've obviously like, yeah, apple pie and cheese. Like, no, but I think, I mean, I've seen it. Other people. We talked about this chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's obviously really, really
So
good because
good.
we've tried it.
So good.
So I'm curious to know what other people think of the weird combos, but butter, jelly, and cheese was the weirdest thing for me, and I never could get around it. It was not good. Okay.
That is weird.
Lori, I think, just won it. Lori _CTR said an ex-roommate would put peanut butter in her chili.
Yeah, and my dad was saying that a coworker won't eat chili without a PB or a peanut butter sandwich there too. I guess that's a thing.
Peanut butter and chili?
I guess that's a thing.
I don't
know.
understand this. This doesn't seem to make any sense to me. It's salty and savory.
Yeah.
Weird.
That is weird.
I don't understand. But I guess if so if you heard of peanut butter and chili, that's one I'd like to know about more because that's
That is very interesting.
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
Is that a taste tank thing we've got to try here? Make some chili and try some peanut butter with it. Ooh. I don't know. I just don't know. All right. And the last one, if you would.
Yeah, the last one. This comes from Moo Loves You, Baby. Hi, guys. What is your favorite piece of architecture in WoW? Mine has to be the Mordor style of ICC.
For me, it is the Night Elf zones before all the Cataclysm stuff destroyed it. So the architecture of the buildings. When I first started playing WoW, there was so the road that runs up to Astronar, that you go from Darkshore to Astronar. There's a big hill that you go up, and there's this beautiful pink leafed tree that you come up to the hill and it's just this beautiful tree. And that used to be my wallpaper for my computer for years because that was my tree. I connected so strongly to the night elf stuff. And so I really like that. And then I play a blood elf too, and I really do like the blood elf architecture of the buildings, the cities, they're very, very appealing to someone like a magpie like me. It's like shiny stuff, pretty stuff, sparkly stuff. So yeah, that's those are stuff I like.
That is cool.
Yeah.
A magpie and a goofball. There we go.
Yeah, magpie too. That's another one. You can call me a magpie. That's a noun, but
yeah.
So.
Oh gosh, what was I think I'm still stuck in Pandaria.
Are ya?
Yeah, I love that whole Pan-Asian style. They hit all the right notes with the Pandarans architecture.
It fatigued me so much after seeing it for so long, but I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I might get better with it as time goes by and I'm not so tired of it.
True. Yeah. It's still got me hooked. I love all of that. Also, 2020 says, it was Kipan Jin said, I love the architecture in Ulduar and Pandaria. Yeah, yes. Ulduar too. I love that Titan, kind of almost like steampunky kind of, with all the gears and the like the big lines that almost look, they have like electrical lines going through them and everything. It's just very, very cool. I like both of those.
Yeah, I was really, I think I just got really happy with the way that we had Lich King's, all of Lich King had such different styles, but it had such cool differences. Like, you had the whole Ulduar style and you had all of that stuff. And then you had all of the spiky, devastation of all the Lich King stuff. It was just, I guess that one would be my favorite zone that just kind of had everything that I wanted it to have. I get so excited. I got so excited when Pandaria came out and how pretty it was and how, there was so much of it and it's just so cool. And then I kind of got tired of it. So
I will put in a little another favorite is Uldum and like the whole Realms of Air, because like the Throne of the Four Winds, gorgeous. Just that kind of, Arabian Indian style architecture with all the air and all the sand and all that. It was beautiful too.
Yeah. I don't know, even the Viking stuff that was done for all of Lich King, with a very Norwegian style, Viking style. There's so much cool going on.
Yeah, and the Gilneans too. Yes. The Gilnean architecture is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, there's a
lot.
A lot of things that I can talk about for this. It's just, I still love WoW. I still love it. It's, going back and leveling a character and kind of seeing stuff again for the 100th time. You remember the stuff that you loved so much in those days. So this is all new now for me because I've never played a game this long. Never stuck with anything where it just was a part of my life for so long. It's been 10 years now, and it has been. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. So, all right. So that is Tell Us One Thing. You guys can send in your questions for Tell Us One Thing to our Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. On Thursdays, we do it. Tell Us One Thing Thursdays. You can send it in early if you want to questions at taurenThinkTank.com. And Facebook. We put it on Facebook too, which is facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. And now we're going to start reading some marathon letters that you guys sent in this week. It's time to read a lot of letters for our feedback.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you... Wow, that's a lot of feedback.
And that is the truth this week. We have a lot of feedback to read.
We really do.
So we're going to start with our first one is an update. You know how much we love updates. So here is our update of the week. Dear Triple T, I was going through my emails and clearing out some folders. I noticed something a bit odd. I sent you guys a message that looked quite familiar. Apparently, I sent you the email about being a monster, signed as Illidan. That being said, I have no recollection of writing nor sending this email. This falls in line with things people have told me. I've been told multiple times that people see me in places I would swear up and down I haven't been. Whether it's out at the mall, random stores, or other public places, people ask me about what I was up to while I was out in public. Only to my memory, I wasn't there. As the saying goes, if one person calls you a horse, you ignore it. If two people call you a horse, you ignore it. But when several people call you a horse, it's time to buy a saddle. So I've actually been out and not remembering it. That tells me at the very best I have some kind of split personality disorder, possibly multiple personalities. I don't know. And given the dreams that I've had and the apparent outlook that Illidan has, I think I need to stop fighting against getting help and just get help. I'm not entirely sure I can make the chat room this week, but I'll be there in spirit at the very least. Although as I am apparently this Illidan person as well, I'll answer your question. You are both worth your oxygen because you genuinely try to help people. With so many people simply out for themselves, anyone that is so active in their attempt to help others will always be worth their oxygen. As for what was said about not wanting to feel disappointment again, I still stand by my chat room comment. Paraphrasing, it sounds to me that Illidan chose his words carefully. People are flawed and disappointments are inevitable, but disappointment and betrayal are vastly different things. I do not know what Illidan referred to, but for what I do remember of such things in my life, I've only dated one person that didn't cheat on me and later married the guy they cheated with. Those are acts of betrayal in my eyes. Making plans and the other person having to break them for whatever reason, that's disappointment. I know that while I do not always manage to word things properly, I do put forth effort to choose what I say and how I say it very carefully. If I am also Illidan, I can only presume the same effort would be made. Of course, that being said, it's also entirely possible that if it is another personality, that the same effort is not being made and words are just tossed out there because they sound good. I could go on and on, but I've taken enough of your time already for now. So I will just say thank you and see you in chat again soon. From Draven Dresden. So Draven, we are here for you. And we have been talking privately. So I am hopeful that things are going to be heading to the positive. I want to thank you for sending us this update and telling us what you discovered was going on. Our chat room is echoing our same words, that they are here for you and they are here to support you. And we thank you for being there with us as we are part of your journey. This was a pretty big revelation and one that was definitely scary. But Draven is working very hard right now. I can tell you that. So that's all I'll say because the rest is up to him.
Yeah.
So thank you for that feedback. We do appreciate the updates. And we do want to read the first one from Lita.
Absolutely. This one's from Lita. She says, I think a lot of times we hold ourselves back more than anything. Our negative thoughts about who we are and what we can do. And I love what Markonnen said. We listen to ourselves, but we don't hear ourselves. Such a great thought.
That was one of my favorite moments from last week's show. Talking about hearing yourself, but not actually listening. You know, you listen, but you don't hear. And, you know, it's just that you're not hearing exactly what it is. It's a part of you. And we got a lot of positive words about that statement. So, you made some changes in people's lives last week, buddy.
Well, good.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
Most definitely. This last letter, I'm not sure how I feel about this last letter.
Yeah.
And so we'll let the chat room decide. I'm very torn, and it makes me laugh just thinking about it, so I'm just going to read it. Hello, folks. I have been driven to share my thoughts regarding the /moo. Your podcast has become what I believe to become a beacon of light for some people that need friendly advice regarding some very difficult situations. You also say that you have given the /moo to us, the listeners. If it is truly our /moo to give, then we should be allowed to give the two of you a /moo without being chastened for giving it. I think telling me that I shouldn't give you a /moo cheapens the spirit behind the acknowledgement. I understand the spirit of why you do not expect a /moo as recognition of who you are and what you mean to us. But the reason the /moo to you is important is not because you need to hear it, but that we need to say it. The /moo is as much for the one giving it as much as the one receiving it. Please do not rob us of the opportunity to offer our love and appreciation. Take the /moo like a true Tauren. That's all for now. /moo to both of you. No complaints. From Scrunch on Earthen Ring. I genuinely had a bout of laughter when I read this email this week.
I did too.
And I get your point, Scrunch.
Yeah.
I truly do. And you make an excellent point in that the /moo is yours to give. But you know, it's a very difficult position to be in. The Buttress just said #scolded. Like we totally were. I was like, we totally just got scolded.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh my ass off because I was just like, here we are telling you to give praise to other people and not to give it to us, and you're going to tell us that you're wrong for not letting us give you praise, Jules and Marconin. And Bim in the chat room just said, yes, when someone gives you a compliment, what do you say? Thank you.
Thank you.
Look at us. We're both like chastised children. And so he's like, okay, fine. We'll take your /moo like a champion.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, it's, you know, we don't want to like seem like praise hungry. I don't know the right word for that. You know,
it's a perfect way to phrase it. That's, you know, you give us enough praise as it is with the letters that you give us, and we have that section specifically for other people to give other people praise. And so that was like, you know, that when we said don't give us /moos because we're not making this section for you to do this for us. But I absolutely understand that if it's your /moo to give and you want to give it to us, then that's your choice. And so it is a really shitty position to be in. Because I'm like, okay, fine. We're going to grudgingly accept it and we'll just not complain about it. But we don't ever want to be saying, hey, guys, did you want to give us a /moo? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like,
yeah, never want to do that.
So, yeah, it made me laugh so hard. I'm like, we just got scolded for doing something I thought which was selfless.
But we, you know, it's one of those things we do appreciate the /moo, but the /moo section is more for, you know, really showing your appreciation for others in the community that no one else knows about, you know, really, you know, doing that. And, you know,
and your dad just said the same thing. Just say thank you. So we're just going to say thank you. This is all right. Here is how it's going to go for the rest of the time. When anybody gives us a /moo, we're going to look at each other in the camera. We're going to go, thank you.
Thank you. Maybe less of a robot-y voice for me.
Maybe a little bit less. I'll give a little bit more than the robot voice, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scrunch, for scolding us.
For making me laugh, because that was awesome.
Yeah.
So what better way to transition to said /moo than to do a /moo right now?
Yep.
/moo to GM Zellerox. He or she rocks and really understands helped resolve my long-standing issue. Thanks. Triple T is excellent. From Jazzism on Spirestone.
From Haster, /moo to Hitori in CTR for sending me a Harbinger of Flame battle pet completely unasked. /moo.
From 2020 site, /moo to Epic Insanity, Midnight, Keixer, and oh gosh, Zoran Daly for heartfelt kind words this morning. Love you all. Sorry, 20.
From that is a nice name. From Memeth /moo to AIE _guild and Cyrene AIE for the craft fair. That's right. Yeah, they were doing the AIE craft fair this weekend.
Yeah, man, that is a huge undertaking.
It really is. I farmed up some fell iron ore for them late last night.
Aw, how nice of you.
That's where I ran into Moogaiver in War Spear.
Aw,
That was
see?
cool.
That's awesome. Slash moo to Yuffie, who decided to take the plunge and stepped up to become our raid leader and anchor from execute_phase.
That's awesome. And from Samara /Moo to at Gnome Circus at Brehaven ED and everyone in metal for being the awesome guild full of amazing people.
And from our chat room, Rambling Noob says /Moo to Callie Monk and Midnight for spending some time discussing some important issues and for being a sounding board for some ideas I've been having. That's awesome. I didn't see anybody scroll by other than that one, did you?
I didn't notice any. No.
Okay, good. Then we got them all. And we got out unscathed. So
Yes, we did.
if you want to send us a /Moo for somebody else, please, somebody else other than us, you can send that to questions at torrenthinktank.com, and or you can send it to our email. That is our email. Our Twitter at torrenthinktank. I am getting so just. I'm verklempt right now. Damn it. Oh, you guys make me laugh. You are listening to our show through a variety of different ways. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. You can find us on our website at torrenthinktank.com. We've got our player right there. There's all different places that you can listen to this show, and we thank you that you are. If you are at a place where you can leave a review, please help us out and do so. iTunes, Stitcher all have review opportunities, and it lets other people find us. So one of my favorite things that the chat room does is they give us alternate show titles. And so this entire day, so their job at the end of the show is to give us the list of show titles so we can pick it. This is their job. Last time I had to send a tweet out to get it because I couldn't remember how many there were.
Yeah, and I'd forgotten about Hellfire hot dogs.
I did.
I was like, I can't believe I forgot about it, but
I know.
It happened.
When you talk for over 2 hours at a time, it's going to go right past you after a while.
Yeah, it will.
They're our secretary, too, these guys. They're the best. Yeah.
They keep the wheels turning.
They so do. So if you guys are listening to the show via Alpha Geek Radio, our apologies for the issues earlier tonight. We got that fixed because I was dumb. So I'll set up something wrong. So you can hear us on tunein.alphageekradio.com. It's another place where you can listen to us on the live stream. Mark Conan, I've ran out of show notes to read.
Well, I think that means that the show's just about over.
I think so.
Don't you?
I think so, too. And it's sad because we're going to have to say goodbye for 2 weeks.
I know. 2 weeks.
Oh, you guys keep the light on for us, and we'll be back next week. Because, we're going to be at the Minnesota meetup. Kane and I will be there, so there will be no show next Saturday. We will be back in 2 weeks for another show. Mark Honan, is there anything that you wanted to pimp or talk about people to show off while you're gone? Anything?
I can't really think of anything. I know that I'm not. I can't remember if the second half of Ready Player One that I did with the Realm of Books podcast is out yet. But you can always check out their website, realmofbookspodcast.com, and just really enjoy the show that Rayanne and Arcane do over there.
Yes,
really had a great time with them earlier this month. I think it was that we did that. It was a lot of fun.
Yes,
but yeah, I know I won't be here next Saturday. I'm going to be probably watching Age of Ultron for the third time by then. So we're only a week away.
I know. I'm so excited. I don't even know if we're going to go see it next week because we have so many things to do. So it'll have to be the following week. But yeah, Minnesota meetup. If you're thinking about coming, come hang out with us. We're so excited.
I wish I could be there.
I know. Well, next year.
Yeah.
Now that the Warcraft movie has gotten moved, we're probably going to have our meetup around that time anyway.
That sounds fantastic. We'll just coordinate it all together.
All right, Mark Honan, it's time to bring this show to its close.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let me adjust this before I do anything, though. There we go. Oh, there it is. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Our voiceovers are done by the two Uber mages, Arcane and myself, Marconin. You can find us outside of the show on our website, TaurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too. Don't forget your Triple T t-shirts. You can find those at slashloot.com. They come in 3 designs. In fact, I'm wearing one today.
Woo!
In several different colors, so just check that out. Slashloot.com. Get your t-shirt on.
Get your t-shirt on. Thank you to all of our patrons. Our show will always be free, and your support helps us to do even more. If you would like to become a patron of the show, you can do that at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank.
You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can also find us on Twitter for the show at TaurenThinkTank. You can find Jules at JulesRPG and myself, Marconin, at MarconinWow. You can also chat with us on our forums, so if you want to give those boards some love, you can go to forums.signalsmedia.com.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight and hanging out every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Central Daylight Time. We're at twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank for the live video stream, or our mobile audio stream at Alpha Geek Radio at tunein.alphageekradio.com. We love having you here with us for our live show. Our chat room is one of the liveliest groups I've ever seen, and they are the best. So I love it. You guys, thank you so much for being here. We will be back in 2 weeks. Marconin, have a fabulous 2 weeks.
You too, Jules. Enjoy the Minnesota meetup. I expect lots of pictures.
There'll be tons of them. You guys follow Twitter and all that stuff, Facebook, and we'll make sure we post all that stuff. So, in 2 weeks, we'll see you again. For myself, for Marconin, for Arcane, for our entire chat room. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Yes. And that was really bad again.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Hi, Zan. Yes, there will be a Smash Bash. I am working on it. But just so you guys know, if there's going to be a Smash Bash, it's gotta be because you guys help us do it.
Yeah.
I just gotta say that right now. We got to have your help to do it this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
Do you think we're gonna have the same sized room? Because it was a pretty good sized room last time.
Yep. I've been trying to talk to the lady at the Hilton, and she and I just keep missing each other. So yeah, we're close. I just need to get the information and know how much it's gonna cost. And then there's gonna be a Kickstarter of some sort. So, because we need money.
Yep, I'll be throwing some money at that for sure.
Yeah, this year it's gonna be it. We got to do it this way. It's just important that we do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna do the Smash Bash thing. So super excited by that.
Hey, Natani. Good to have you here.
Look at all these awesome people who are here
know.
tonight. You guys rocked it. And, I thank you for handling all of this stuff that we had thrown at us tonight. Like things not working right and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which means Jules has to edit the show this week. Yes.
Well, it's only a little bit.
I know.
Just a little bit in the middle.
I know. And, that's a special live show treat for you, Natani. I only do the really on the live shows. So you only hear it when I do that. But if he ever changes that bumper, I'm going to be screwed.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so sad. It's like, really? Something, I got to scroll back because I saw something here that I was going to answer.
Yeah. Well, I think the Smash, it's standard for Signals Media All-Star Heroes Bash. I think that's what it was.
And that's something that's coming down the road because Signals Media... It's Signals Media All-Star Network, but we should have really had it Signals Media All-Star Heroes, and so there may be some things changing down the road for the network's name, but it's like we wanted to change it last year and it didn't happen, so Smash Bash was like the first step towards that to change it. So yeah, but that's what it was. So, but Smash Bash is going to be another. We're going to be having another blast. So yeah, it should have been when Pat first made it. It should have been Signals Media All Star Heroes, but it became Signals Smashin'. So Smash and Bash doesn't really
smash and bash.
Smash and Bash.
Smash and bash.
Ah.
Oh man, oh man.
Yes.
I got the whole day ahead of me now. I don't know what to do.
I know, right? You've just started your day, and
I know.
I'm gonna
Guess
be
I'll go
asleep.
Here we go into sleep. I guess I'll run Dragon Soul for the mounts again a few more times, and
Yeah. I'll probably go
We'll
to sleep in
see.
about an hour. I got some good sleep today, and I'm kind of like buzzing now.
yeah.
We So a couple of weeks ago, we went down to IKEA and decided that we were going to get some new desks for our downstairs. So there's a slow changeover happening downstairs in our gaming space. New desks, new shelves, and the shelves, the shelves. Neither Kate and I are handy at all. Like, we know where the toolbox is, but that's about it. So these shelves are like the brackets are inside the shelf and all this stuff. And so the two of us are looking at each other like, do you feel comfortable putting this up on the wall? No. Do you? Not really. Should we maybe get someone to help us who knows what they're doing?
So are they like anchored into the wall?
Yeah.
With nothing underneath them?
Yeah. So like there's a bracket. Okay. So there's a bracket that has 3 tubes that jut out of it. And so you mount the bracket on the wall, and then the shelf goes into the tubes, and it locks in that way. And then you drill up to lock it into place. It's the literal, like, it's like a 70-inch shelf. So it's huge. And I might be exaggerating how big it is, but it's big. And so it's like
70 inches. It's almost 6 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's long.
Oh, wow.
It's big. And maybe it's like 5 feet. I don't know. Maybe it's 60 inches. But it's like, so it's the worry that if you put this up here and we don't hit the studs or anything like that, it's like, what do? We could really destroy our drywall.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I mean, if I was up there, I'd help, because I've had to do stuff kind of like that at work.
Oh, I wish.
Don't know a whole lot about it.
We're so lame. The two of us looking at each other like, we don't want to wreck our wall. See, yeah, it's a 73-inch shelf. I was right. It's big, and they're like,
that is cool.
I mean, they're like this big thick wood. It's big and it's just really cool. But I know I need like people I can call and say, handy person, can you come and fix my house?
Mm-hmm.
Please.
We need help with this. So 20, one of our counterparts on the team that I work with, the Tulsa team, they're in Denver right now for a couple of weeks, and I'm very jealous because they're in they're in Denver for a week or 2 weeks, and then they go to LA for 2 weeks.
Oh wow! And
I'm staying in Arkansas, which I don't really mind because I'm near the cats and everything, but it'd be nice to be on the road a little bit more. It's nice being in Louisiana though, because closer down here, and the food's good.
Nice
hotel.
I'm jealous you're gonna get Louisiana food.
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana food.
There's a place over here called Kim Seafood. The family, they were down in New Orleans, but Katrina kind of washed them up. The state, they kind of left Katrina because they had standing water. Gosh, like over 6 feet tall in their place. So it was crazy. And so they moved up to Bossier City, which is just outside of Shreveport, and they've got really good food. And it's actually, I think it's a Chinese family, so it's Cajun food and Chinese food. You can get crawfish fried rice and lots of different kind of mixes.
Wow.
And it's good. It's good.
It's good food.
They have their shrimp po' boy is really big. It's big and it's good. Hungry now.
I know. You're gonna make me so hungry.
Buttress, I had etouffee on Thursday. Had some crawfish etouffee with fried shrimp in it.
Fried shrimp?
Fried shrimp.
You sounded like you were totally from the bayou right there. Listen
I know.
To you.
You have to when you're down there.
Wow.
Yeah, crawfish is It's kind of like a small lobster. They also call them mud bugs or crayfish or crawdads, kind of like that. They're like mini freshwater lobsters,
Nice. Oh,
and
we
they
should wear Gator.
they're
We
pretty
should
good.
have you come down and we'll buy you beers. We'll buy you beers, wear Gator. Yes, we know what kind of beer you like.
Yeah, you do, Buttress. You get good food in East Texas. You're not too far from that.
I know. This is it. Kane and I need to become independently wealthy so we can travel to all the cool places in the world and eat their good food.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because, yeah, we're definitely like foodie people, like really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah, if you get to if you get a chance to come to New Orleans, let me know because I'll take the weekend off and come down there and we can go to Cafe Du Monde, get some
beignets.
and cafe au lait, get a nice muffaletta, and
Oh.
get some etouffee, get some jambalaya, eat you some gator. You need some gator.
Gator. I've never tried Gator.
You need some gator.
Yes.
Get some boudin, although I'm not going to get the normal boudin. I can actually send you some that slaughterhouse the meat processing place down the road. They do a Yankee boudin because
What is
boudin's
that?
got like blood in it and a bunch of other stuff. The boudin sausage, it's usually I think it's either pork or beef, and they put rice and spices in it, and then they put that in the casing and make a sausage out of it. But they've got kind of a Yankee boudin, which is they use regular cuts, more normal cuts of
This
meat.
sounds so nasty.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's delicious. Like just, I mean, it's like it's liver. Yeah, they use liver and rice.
All right,
and
I'm
they
done.
put
No,
that-
no.
But no, not the Yankee boudin. It's like ground beef.
Okay, that's
It's
all right.
I wouldn't send you anything weird. I would let you know what it was first.
Okay.
So
Kleptic asked if I'd seen Chef. I did, and I loved that movie.
I still need to watch it.
Kane needs to see it because I watched it on a night when he wasn't here. It is fantastic. So it is John Favreau.
Night Driven.
Night Draven. It's just such a great movie. That's an inspiration movie right there.
I've heard it's good.
Inspire to like do what you love, and then it's all about.
I need to watch it then.
It's so great. I loved it. You will love it. It's just so turn on Netflix and watch it tonight because then
I can do that because I can just put it on the TV and while I'm playing WoW and do that.
Yeah, you'll find you're watching that more than you're playing WoW because it's that good.
I keep dying to the foodie boss.
The foodie boss. Oh, that's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
what a good
Can't wait.
night. I was feeling kind of like sluggish tonight, and you guys brought me life. So thank you.
I'm still trying to wake up. It's kind of foggy a little bit. Just that 4 hours kind of put you off a little bit.
I know that feeling, that just kind of like fog that goes over your head when you've slept more than you should for that time period, but not enough that your body needs it.
Yeah.
When I've taken a longer nap than I should have taken or something, and I'm woken up mid sleep cycle or something. So, show title. All right. You guys need to list back all the cool stuff that you listed early on. We had some really good ones early on, and then they just kept coming.
It's all about boobs.
All about boobs. Just say thank you. All right. I need to write these down. Hang on. I need more paper.
More paper.
I need more paper.
I need more paper too, but I don't make enough at work.
Just say
Get that paper. Make that paper, son. Make that paper.
Just say thank you. Scolded for slash moo.
Staring at my own boobs.
That one's a no.
Yeah. We will get calls. We will get customer service calls on that one.
Slowly for slash moo. Oh, Papa Conan enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Staring
Yeah,
at
he
the
did.
boobs. iTunes doesn't like risque titles. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Thank you for boobs.
Thank you.
There
for
you go.
boobs. Just say thank you. There was some things early on too that we had said, and I can't remember. You guys are supposed to keep. You're supposed to keep notes. Oh, this is like this is the scratch paper that is like, this is the scratch paper that's lived forever. There is so many show titles on here. There are so many show titles on here. These are old. Oh my gosh. Going Commander is on here.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Clever use of game mechanics. The Slash Room. If Arcane Was My Wife. My gosh. Dead Moles and Bat Guano. Like, these are all on here. Oh my god, these are old.
Oh wow. Trying to think how old the Bat Guano is. Is
That's
that Throne
old.
of Thunder?
That is
That's
old.
Throne of Thunder old? Yeah.
Yeah. Dead Moles and Bat Guano. Jeez.
Let's see.
So it looks like we've got Just Say Thank You or Scolded for Slash Moo. Those are two. If you guys think of any others.
I was trying to think if there was anything in 112's letter when we were talking about that.
Let me look.
About going to BlizzCon or going to, seeing people with their fandom and just asking, just maybe something 20 said. She said something earlier, 20, if you remember. I don't know if I can scroll back that far, but
Yeah, it's probably not. It's probably gone.
oh yeah, it's gone. But you were saying, just say hi, something. I can't remember if or just talk to them or something. It was something good, but I can't remember what exactly you said.
I can't give this away though because it's okay. So this is the front of the letter. Like, this is all scratch notes on the back of a letter that Pat Crane sent me for inputs and outputs for 2 boxes that he loaned me for doing Convert to Raid while he was out of the country for 2 weeks. So it's like
that was a while ago.
That was a long time ago. Oh yes, no kidding. Just say hi and you're not. Save a hug for me. Oh, they save a hug for me. That's a good one. Let me write that one down. I think there's like spots of soda on here. I don't understand where that came from. I haven't
That
drank
adds
soda in a
value.
year.
That adds
I
value.
know. This thing is old. This is over 2 years old that I'm making these notes.
The cats have played with it.
The cats have stepped on it. Probably it's got cat butt prints on it.
You get Garrus's paw prints on there.
Yes.
It's added bonus.
Oh, silly little Garrus.
Yeah. There's a cat in the house across from us. And I was showing my mom the house, and we were upstairs and coming down the stairs, and I looked out the window, and the neighbors have a trampoline, and there was a gigantic Garrus laying down on the trampoline, just laying there. He looked just like Garrus, but he was big. He was like big cat, and just laying there, just relaxing.
That could have been like
and his
a
tail
rag
just
doll.
kind of, his tail would just go up and down, very slowly. He was very happy.
Aw. So you want me to? Okay, so you guys want me to keep a notepad, and then I can send it to a winner every month, or every few months, or every 6 months. I can do that. It's up to you.
Yeah.
That's something you guys would find value in. I could certainly do that.
Yeah, I can start sketching stuff too. That way you can get little doodles while I'm doing the show or something.
You're not supposed to be drawing while you're doing the show.
Well, not
Marconin.
drawing, but idea. Like not little maybe doodles after the show.
Okay. Yeah, for all the okay. So we'll make it a thing. Episode 143 marks this. I will go to the store tomorrow and I will get one of those little notebooks, little notepads, and I will write down all the show titles that you give us. This is now a tradition. You guys have established this. And I will give one away once we get a few pages filled in it, and then you can have it. So I think that Just Say Thank You is the one. You guys probably...
I think so, too.
I think that's it. So Just Say Thank You. You win. So I'll start the notebook next week, or in 2 weeks. We'll do it that way. It gives me 2 weeks. Import note keeping. Yes. Too funny.
Yeah.
So you know what I did with the Alpha Geek stream? You know what I did?
What'd you did?
So I have a second webcam downstairs that I plugged in because I was on Skype I was doing a Skype session with Mick Montgomery and Pat Crane, and we were talking about some stuff, and I plugged it in, and this is the first time I had plugged it in and left it in on the computer, And so the Alpha Geek stream recognized the webcam as a microphone, as an audio source, and that's what it was defaulting to. So I'm hoping Arcane didn't do anything bad downstairs, because anything he said was going to get picked up. And anything, so his computer was playing the show, and so he was in the background. And I was sitting there going, oh no. Like, okay, Kane could possibly be like burping and farting out there. I didn't know.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, man. Chili and peanut butter.
Sorry.
I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that was a bad suggestion.
So apparently that whole time before we got to our second question, it was coming out of the webcam microphone.
Oh, man.
Goofball.
That's funny.
Dumb ass. Oh my god. So oh man. I felt so bad. I was like, okay, I won't make that mistake again. Well, you know what? When you screw up like that, you just gotta laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting there going, what did I do? I didn't do anything different. Oh shit. Oh man. At least I'm amusing, right?
Yeah.
Gas check. No, this is post-show, Trestle. We can't use that.
Yeah.
We can't use that. We can't do that because then it doesn't make any sense. I don't keep this for the podcast version. Only you guys get this, and then the people who watch YouTube. So, if you sit through all 2+ hours of our stream and hear all this fun gem stuff, then you deserve it.
Yeah.
So. All right. I think that is it for me and for Yule, and we'll let you go get some food.
Yeah. And
lunch.
Yeah, it'll be a good weekend next weekend, I think. I'll may go to the casinos a little bit and play some slots. I usually don't spend a lot of money because there's riverboat casinos in Shreveport. So they're all not a lot of nice places to eat and spend a little money. Hopefully win a little money.
There you go. You just win back your dinner.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. I was like, at the most I'll spend $40 and it's all in slots. So I'm just like, thanks, Chief. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks. Stay out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And watch social media for all the cool stuff going on for Minnesota Meetup. We'll make sure we post lots of stuff so you can see what's happening. And we'll be back in 2.
Yep. We'll see you on May 9th.
May 9th. Have a great week, you guys.
Take care. /moo, folks.